Good day, everyone. So today we are going to perform the task 6, join Windows 10 to domain Windows Server 2016. So in this task, uh, uh, along with me, with my partner, CG Devon Badlota, to read us the instruction for this task. CJ?
Hello guys, so in this task, you are asked to perform joining a Windows 10 workstation to our domain. Recall that a domain is a local area network with workstation and servers under the control of one central security server or group of servers. These servers are called controllers refer to a database that keeps track of users, their password, and what they're permitted to us access. In other words, a domain is a control LAN that provides a single login for user to gain access to network resources like file storage and network printing. The principal benefits of joining a workstation to a domain in a central authentication with a single login, you can access different servers and resources without logging into each one. Another benefit is that settings and a computer's operating system can be changed or controlled by the network. Thus, if a computer needs a certain configuration to function fully on the network, computers belong to the domain can receive that configuration automatically. So that is instruction in task 6.
All right, to begin with, let's open first our Oracle Manager box. Right, to proceed our task 6. So first, let's open our Oracle Manager, Oracle VM VirtualBox. Right, so as you can see on the screen that we already installed the Windows Server 2016 and the Windows 10 uh, virtual machine. So first, let's run this two virtual machine. Then before we forgot, in task 6, so make it sure that the two machine is connected with the same network. So on the Windows 10, we are connected in our NAT network, and likewise for the Windows Server 2016, and it is connected in our NAT network, which is Amoyan Banlota Network Lab. So let's wait for the two VirtualBox completely loading all the necessary files. All right, so our Windows 16, Server 16 is already up, and we need to input our password here. So it means that since this login details appear on our screen, CCS means that it is our domain name, and let's put our password that we created earlier on our previous video, that the Amoyan Banlata 2016. Okay. And of course, our Windows 10 virtual machine. But before anything else, you can check the IP configuration in our command prompt, we open our Windows, and then type the CMD. Then let's check for the IP config here. All right, since our uh, IPv4 is a static IP address, which is 192.168.1.18. Then our subnet mask, of course, the the 24-bit 255.255.255. Right, so in our Windows Server 2016 is already up. Then there are 4 services that has been stopped. Then we need to start these services. All right, so it's good. So before anything else, also in Windows Server, we need to check the IP address or the IP configuration in this Windows Server 2016. So in your Windows logo, type CMD to open up your command prompt. Then type the IP config to open all the configuration on our screen on our system. All right. So the IP address or the IPv4 or the machine is configured with the static IP address. So the IPv4 address is 192.168.1 with the subnet mask 255.255.255. Alright, the first thing that we are going to do is that uh, so let's check if the EDDS or the Active Directory domain services is already installed in our Windows Server 2016, as well as with our DNS. It's already up on our system. So let's manually uh, configure the DNS first. So what we are going to do? So add go to your tools menu on the upper right corner of your server manager, then click for DNS. Alright, so don't store information about one or more continuous DNS domain. To add a new zone, in the action menu, click New Zone. Alright, so let's uncheck this to avoid a double domain controller. So click Next for the select the zone type for primary zone. Then let's uh, put CCS or set ccs.com as our domain zone name. Alright, so in zone file, there are uh, two selections. Do you want to create a new zone file or use an existing file that you copied from another server? So let's create a new file with this file name. Then do not allow updates to prevent us update the automatic dynamic updates of resources. So it must upgrade these records manually. So click next. Then we have in the completing the new zone wizard. So the name is gcs.com standard type is standard primary lookup type forward. So file name ccs.com.dns. So click finish. So there you go. There is ccs.com as our domain name. So let's add a new host A for www. 192.1. Alright, so we successfully added one. Then let's add a new reverse lookup zone. So click zone, a new zone, then same process, primary zone. Then in the reverse lookup zone name, a reverse lookup zone translate IP address into DNS name. So choose whether you want to create a reverse lookup zone for IPv4 addresses or IPv6 addresses. Since most of us using IPv4, so we need to omit or disregard the IPv6 reverse lookup zone. So let's select the IPv4. Alright, so let's input the network ID. So network ID is the portion of IP address that belongs to the zone. Enter the network ID in its normal order. Alright, so uh, in some file, there are two selections again. So let's create a new file with this file name. Then do not allow dynamic updates. Alright, so we completed the new zone wizard. So the name is 1.168.192.in dash addr dash dot arpa. So type standard primary, lookup type, reverse, and file name that 1.168.192.in dash addr dot arpa dot dns. Click finish. Alright, so we already created the two zone, which is forward lookup zones and reverse lookup zones. Then please don't forget to add a pointer here to specify your host IP address. So for the host name, let's browse for the specific machine or the computer. So the forward lookup zone is ccs.com. Then select this, our pointer. Alright, so let's check if uh, in S lookup here, then let's input our domain name. So as you can see on the screen, the server is server is the VHDCA DC-PA B01, which means our computer. So the address is for the www.ccs.com is 192.168.1.1. So let's check this one. Alright, so there you go. So let's try to connect our Windows 10 in this domain name. Right, so let's change our machine first to VM1, which means virtual machine 1. Then click OK. Then you must restart computer to apply these changes. Alright. So click close to restart our machine. Alright, so our Windows 10 virtual machine is already started. So let's connect let's connect to the domain ccs.com. All right, so we already connected or connect our domain uh, to our domain the Windows 10 from the Windows Server 2016. So the choices is there is in a dialog box which is the add account. So user account. So since the user account this is we can set this as a VM1 to standard type. Standard account type is standard user. So click next. Domain account. The domain account we found. Alright, so it's later. Alright, so let's start our PC right now to take effect some changes. Alright, so we already connect the Windows 10 to our ccs.com domain. So let's input the password of the administrator to open the uh, Windows 10. Right? This is the Windows 10 virtual machines that is already connected to our CCS that is already connected to our CCS domain. So let's check here if we are successfully connected to the domain. So let's check for the under the my computer and this is PC and check settings. Then here in the system properties, so click here to change. So as you can see here, right on our screen, that the that we are connected or uh, connect to ccs.com domain. Then to verify that on our Windows Server 2016, so let's check here. So to check and to verify if we successfully connected to each other, go to your tools menu, then click for Active Directory Users and Computers. In this page, you can check or verify if uh, there is a uh, machine or client connected to your server. So under your ccs.com, this is your domain. So let's check for the or check for the computers. So to verify, this is the virtual machine 1, which is our Windows 10 virtual machine. So it means that we successfully connect the Windows 10 virtual machine to our domain. So we are done with our task 6, which is join the Windows Server uh, domain to our Windows 10 virtual machine. So thank you guys for watching and have a great day everyone.